Hi, everyone, and welcome back to, or ciao, my new hat. I went to Italy and now I think I'm Italian. Welcome back. I'm not Italian. I don't even like pasta that much. Welcome back to Arden's Chats. We are here for another week with a very cool story. This is my friend Kellen Ann. She creates beautiful, beautiful products with her business Cards That Wow. And y'all, she has a new book now. And if you follow along with me at all, you know I love books. I love authors. And what's really cool is we're going to talk about Kellen's book, but what we're also going to talk about is how she's marketing it because it's genius. And it's one thing I found out with authors that they are not necessarily willing to do all the time, but should do. And it's yielding her great results. So, welcome to the show. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, Arden. I'm so excited to be talking to you on your podcast and all your followers. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm I'm beyond excited.
Well, tell me why you wrote the book.
I wrote the book, and this is a really I'll try to make it as short as I can.
We got time.
Journey of getting through abuse as a child, as an adult, trying to get everything out, thinking I could help the world by telling my story. The book I first wrote took me a year, and it was 2 inches thick. I mean,
it's a lot of words.
Yeah. And I thought, this is going to be the kind of book somebody might buy, read the foreword, and then put it on their nightstand and then take it to Goodwill. Because my story, even though it's not unique, I mean, a lot of people have gone through the same thing. It just wasn't, so it ended up being more of a closure and a let go for me. So I literally had a ceremonial burning of those documents. I printed them all out. Sorry, I wasted a tree, but I had a fire pit and I had, and I'm not real hippy dippy, but I was totally like, I needed to let everything go. And I did that. And after I did that, I think I did it on a Tuesday night. And then the next weekend, I literally wrote Wag More, the book, in a weekend.
Now, tell me about the book. Is it a children's book? Is it a big book? What is it?
I know it looks like a children's book, but it's designed as a self-help book for people with ADHD because there's not a lot of reading. There's cute pictures. Okay. And it's, I made it that way.
Show it to us.
Okay. Just happen to have one right here.
As every good author should always have a copy. Wag More. I love it.
And then it's the illustrator I had was just amazing. My favorite part is the table of contents.
Okay.
I know your readers can't see this, but I'm going to show it to you. And then you can just go, oh my gosh. Look.
I know. I can't wait.
Is that crazy good?
It's genius.
So
genius. Okay.
So of all the lessons that I learned, in writing out my healing story, I categorized them and I made it into 10 chapters. And it's just like the art of confidence, the art of communication, telling the truth, embracing change, the art of love, the art of appreciation, the art of relaxation, all the things that we need to do to help ourselves.
Yeah.
Maybe get over. I mean, I realize there's times when you need, I did go to therapy. I had, I went to saw a therapist and it was actually, I didn't remember anything before 5th grade. And we both decided mutually that I didn't need to know at this point because I'm in an okay place and I didn't need to do the hypnotizing I just thought, you know what, I'm okay. So in writing this book, I created it mainly for my daughter so that she wouldn't have to wait 57 years to have a game plan.
So that is, okay, first off, so commendable. And one of the things I work on a lot is inner child work. And I've been saying it on I worked with someone, Crystal Rose. That's where the child Italy thing came in, is I took a risk on myself and took a couple of days to pay. Let's be honest, money is an investment. Money is it's just a transaction between you and the universe. Exactly. But I was like, I need to take a risk on me and do some help for me because this whole year I've been looking at 3rd grade Arden and things that happened to 3rd grade Arden, and full disclosure, guys, I have a great family. I don't have familiar abuse that a lot of people go through. Right. However, I'm a super sensitive child. I always was very sensitive, very empathetic. And one of the things I noticed about third grade Arden, because I did the early child work, right? Like kindergarten Arden and baby Arden and all the little things that like we absorb as kids, that we absorb them through our own timeline. But third grade Arden was was super smart. She read all the time. I literally read all the books in our little classroom, yet I was never included with the girl groups. There were 2 girls in the class that would sometimes pull me in and sometimes leave me out. And they made fun of my socks. They made fun of things, or then they would like me again. So there was this dichotomy between, and it is consistently my relationship with other women. I have very rarely dove into relationships with women on a more consistent basis, because and I'm really, really talking to third grade Arden about this. Like third grade Arden, they didn't know anymore. They had their thing. You had your thing. You probably were not hard to get along with, but you were shy and you were a little weird and like working those things out. I mean, I was. As a third grader, your nose is in a book. Like that's not
isn't weird in third grade, right?
No, apparently these weren't, right? But I love that, first off, people can dive into this book with you, and also that you're willing to kind of go there. So this wasn't our pre-conversation, but I would like to learn more, because I'm live on Instagram now too, just doing some background behind the scenes. But why, honestly, once you burn the book, because one thing I've been going through is just losing some family members and going through some stuff. And by the time this is live, I can share more about it. But one person gave me the idea to get invisible ink pens that disappear and then burn the paper. Because like you said, everyone says do therapy. Go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy. And you're like, sometimes I just don't want to invent the words out into the world. I don't. So I love that you burned the paper.
And with COVID, everybody became self-helped out. I mean, I was self-helped out. We had 2 years to better ourselves, make ourselves, learn this about ourselves. I was literally self-helped out.
Yeah. So tell me this, when I'm going back to the question, what made you go, okay, I burned the book, yet I need to write another book, and you wrote it in a weekend? What made you say, okay, I've written the book, now I want to publish the book?
I knew from a long time, maybe 15 years ago, or 11 years. It was 11 years when I got my first pug, little doggy. And I would just sit and watch them. And I wrote little notes on funny little things that they do. And I thought, I'm going to do something with this someday.
Yeah.
And so I had this accumulation of notes. And then I literally fell on the ground one day. I tripped in my living room, whacked my head on the ground, and I fell right in front of Daisy. She was like 2 inches, and we were nose to nose, 2 inches. And then she just went, she blew snot in my nose. Like, what are you getting mad about? Like, you just fell, big deal. I'm down here all the time. And that was when I realized I could just keep watching these silly dogs. And that's where all the lessons came from. Every chapter has a story about, life lesson that I learned from them. And I thought, I need to take those notes and put my self-help journey. And I wanted to make a self-help book that's not a self-help book. Like it's subliminal. You buy it because it's got a really cute cover and all these pretty pictures. Yeah. And then you read into it, and like I've had people like call me and email me and say, God, those dogs, they're right. We need to follow our dogs, not just pugs, but any dog.
Right.
And then when the 2 of them just came together so quickly, and I had the chapters laid out by Saturday morning. I had all the stories, and I had to write some more because obviously I had 2 more pugs that I had to add to the mix. And yeah. And that's basically how it happened.
So that's amazing. Okay, so tell us about the book. Tell us what the book's name is, where we can tell us about just the book in general, and then we'll get back and we'll get the nitty-gritty.
So it's called Wag More: Life Lessons Learned from Observing My Grumble. It's on Amazon.
Wag More.
Wag More.
Life Lessons Learned
from Observing My Pugs.
from observing my pugs. So I'm just saying that for you guys to go get it. I thought you said for observing my grumble. And I was like, what's a
my grumble? Sorry, it is my grumble. And if you want
yeah.
to know what a grumble is, you have to buy the book.
Grumble. Did you make up that word?
No, it is an actual pug word.
Oh, I love that. Observing my grumble. Okay, go buy the book.
And then, so it's on Amazon, but if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my Shopify page, which is at pugsthatwow.com.
Pugsthatwow.com. Okay.
And then I also created an experience box to go with it.
Oh, guys, you cannot see this right now, but okay. So here's where we really, the next part we wanted to get into.
Oh, it's even more than what I showed you.
Oh, good. Okay. So one of the things, so I work with a lot of authors. I do. I love, like I said, I have been on television. I had a TV segment for 15 years, probably, talking about books. And one of the things we were talking about before we came on is people that invest in ARCs, advanced reader copies, and get them into people's hands traditionally do better with their books. A lot of ways authors mess up, and they come to me and they go, I got this book, sell it. And I'm like, well, what have you done preliminary? Like, nothing. What are you willing to invest in your book? I'm willing to invest in you doing all the media for me to get my book out there. Okay. I love that you want to invest in me. That's very important. So guys, I'm really teaching you right here as well. I love that you want to invest in your PR. However, TV, radio, podcast, all the things need a copy of your book in hand. That is very frustrating for authors because every single one of these books costs you money as well. And I get it. And especially when you've got a book like yours where it's pictures and it's more expensive to print. But when you invest in promoting your book, not just with me, your PR person, but also with the actual hard copy of the book, you're going to get much better results. I'm prefacing this because, Kellen, tell us what you did and show us what you did.
Well, I want to give you a little example.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, when I get a response from my package that I send, either a TV station, radio station, newspaper, whatever, they say, you know what? Most people just put their book in an envelope and send it to me. Mm-hmm. And so I took it. I thought I'm going to learn from that, and I'm going to up my game. So right. Do you want me to show it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I created this box, which has the title, the title of my book. It's actually, this is a thank you that I sent to the people I also sent this to people that endorsed the back of it, like Jeffrey Gitomer, Jen Gitomer, Kyle Sheely, Steve Rizzo, and Scott McCain. I think you might know those people. You know Jen.
Yeah.
So it's a box that has cute little doggy quotes around the edges of it. And when you open it up, the book is inside, but there's also a personal video, which I don't have one in this one. But this picture me going, hi, I wanted to send you this book and I hope you enjoy it. And I tell a little bit about myself, about my pug rescue. Another thing I'm trying to do with the book is create awareness for pug rescue.
Ooh.
But this is the box that opened the doors for me and got me. I was in Cincinnati on Q102. Mm-hmm. I'm going to LA for a couple of television, radio, and live stream interviews. I'm going to Houston. And it's all because I sent that box.
Yep. So let me ask you this. How much did that box, now granted, you do Cards at Wow, you create this. How much did that box cost you to create?
I mean like a retail price or so a retail would probably be close to $200.
Okay. For one box?
For the box, for the video, and the box that I send it out in is also branded with your book. Like I have this, can I go get it?
Go get it because this is cool. So, hey, everybody, I am recording behind the scenes and hey, everybody watching this. So one of the things that I always talk about in Arden's chats is that this is video, this is real time. This is lessons that we're learning together. So this box is, and we're going to get into why this is important in a second. So $200 investment, right?
It depends on the size of the book too. I mean, every box, whatever size it is and I make it as close to the size of the box as possible to keep the cost down.
Yeah.
Sorry about the noise. I didn't have one put together.
So is it $200 per box? So because you're putting a video and all that in there too. Okay.
Yeah. And then it gets shipped in a box like this.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're branded. So when it lands on their desk, they're like, whoa, this isn't just a plain box.
Right. Right.
So
and guys, you're not sending this all over, right? Like you're picking your top markets.
Right.
So you're picking your top markets wherever this will be. And maybe you pick 5. You invest $1,000 in that. However, also knowing what the return on investment is going to be. And maybe if you're like, I can't do a video, what can you do for $100 or something like that? Like you have to look at it, and I'm sure you can curate that with them. But
we have a brochure we can do too, where it's just an open up that's under $100. I think it's under $100. So, I mean, but I wanted to wow them. I'm like, that's my business. Cards that wow. And then not only did I create this box with the video for the, if I really wanted to capture their attention, I created a whole experience. So there's the book, there's a journal.
Yeah.
Isn't this cute?
I love it. I like laughing. My allergies are killing me. It's so cute.
So, and then there's a pen. So what you do is you read the book. You can write in your journal. I actually created a candle scent that actually last week I sold more candles than books.
Well, here's the thing. People love candles.
Right.
And you burn them all the time. Like you're reading your book, you light a candle, and especially with the self-help. So what you're doing is what you probably don't even realize is you're creating an experience.
That's it. I call it the Wag More experience.
Yep. So with the book,
wait, there's more.
I love it. Listen, y'all, this is how you market a book, and this is how you get on all the stations in LA. Yeah.
So candle, and then the coffee mug. And then I'm working with a black pug coffee company, and they're creating a coffee blend that you can add onto the box. So, I mean, I've done the extreme here. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect, not everybody's going to do this, but I think there are certain markets where you have to do this.
Yeah.
Like getting on Good Day Atlanta. That's what I sent them.
Okay. Well, and I think that's fascinating because when we talk about marketing in general, obviously messaging is key. So, and you're a communicator, you know how to do it. A lot of people come to me because they don't even know what their message is. So that's why I talk about Definita is about defining your message. But then when it comes to the standout point, you've got to get creative. And whether that's, going to every book club in your area because you're the next Colleen Hoover. And one of the authors I'm working with literally is the next Colleen Hoover. And I love it. I've got a Booked by Love and Coffee joining us right now. So books are with romance novels, you're consistently putting out new content, right? With self-help, that is a different ball game because you're consistently creating an experience. And a lot of times when you're diving deep, especially when you dove deeper than maybe what I'm reading, like my little everyday daily devotion or something.
Right.
You need to sit with it, and you need to sit with space. And you need your coffee. Like every morning I get up and I have my coffee and I read my devotional and I create an experience for me because that's how I start my day. So what you're doing is allowing people, really and truly, can people order this box from you? The whole experience?
Yes, it's on my Shopify Pugs That Wow.
I was getting ready to say, girl, if they don't, you better. So tell me, okay, so that's the marketing point for y'all. Like,
Can I tell you a little bit more about the candle?
You can do whatever you want.
Because it is crazy that nobody has thought of this before me. So I have a candle. She makes them. They're all natural. She does the wood wicks. They're beautiful and they're long lasting. Yeah. But I'm like, she goes, well, what scent do you want? I go, well, their tails look like cinnamon buns. So I want cinnamon bun. And then I want you to add a little bit more vanilla. And then I want some almond. And it is the most magical smell. Oh. I'm sending you a candle. Don't worry. I'm going to send you one.
I'm hungry right now thinking about it.
I can't believe somebody didn't think of that sooner.
Well, what I'm learning about people who are in last week I was with people and a lot of us are, you know, I work a lot in healthcare, but we're looking at more natural ways. What are we putting in our body?
Right.
Down to, I've stopped Botox. I'm not putting fillers in. I'm looking for every, like, listen, I am 44 years old. If I get wrinkles, thank you, Justine Bateman, for accepting wrinkles and making that real for the rest of us. But that also includes, what are we smelling? What is all of that? Like, I didn't even think about that with candles, because I had there's a place in Franklin, Tennessee called Thistle Farms that works with women who have been rescued from sexual violence, human trafficking. And so I bought some of those candles for Christmas. And they were like, well, are they natural? And I was like, I don't know. They're saving women's lives. I don't care. But then, like, you should care, because, and then I did look, and I think they're all natural, but killer for you to also be looking at that too, because that's a whole market that I didn't realize about candles. So
I didn't know about that either till recently, because people were saying, what, like, I went to this pug festival where 50 pugs running around, just little pug butts, tails wagging for 4 hours. Yeah. And I brought my candles, and they're like, okay, so what are they made with? And I'm like, I literally had to text, you know, Molly, what do you put in these? And she's, oh, they're all natural. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. Yeah. So it was something I hadn't even thought of until, you know, a couple people had asked me.
Wow. So go back again. Tell me everything that comes in a box. So, because we keep going off. Yeah.
So we've got
everything that comes in a box.
You get the book, you get the planner, you get the pen, you get a coffee mug, and then to upgrade, there's the upgrade option for the candle, because those are a lot more expensive to make. Yeah, they are. And then you can swap out the mug for a tumbler, like a little. It's not that fancy brand. What is it called?
Swig or
Yeti. It's not a Yeti, but it looks like one. But it's engraved, and it's got it says Wag More, a way of life.
Cute. Well, let me tell you, I have some of those that are not Yetis, and they work just as well, guys.
No, they're really cute. My friend from Boston Impressions, he made them for me. He goes, I just got this machine. I want to see how they work. And so he sent me some, and I go, sold. Love them.
All the things. So for people, so let's get into a little bit, if you would be willing, a little bit into the book itself. Okay. So, you know, you talk to your therapist, you're not dealing with anything before you were 5 years old, which I totally get. And I love that you're honoring yourself in that too, because the other thing, did you work with a publisher, or did you self-publish?
I self-published.
Okay, awesome.
So because I learned that if I worked with a publisher, I was still going to be doing all the work. So I held off, a lot happened in the last year. My mom had passed away, so that delayed it was ready last year. Yeah. But I was taking care of her, and it just, that's why it happened this year. But everything I read, I'm like, gosh, I mean, they're not going to put a box together like this for me. They're not going to, I had to do all the legwork and find my niche, find my tribe, my market. Yeah. And so I did it myself.
Yeah. And I love that. And that's why a lot of people, I'm getting more consistently back into the author game as well, is because there are big publishers. What I'm finding is they're doing less and less. They just don't have the bandwidth to do, or they're only doing whatever the trending topic is at the time. Right. And we can't always predict what the trending topic is, but with self-published, you absolutely, or if you're working with a hybrid publisher who does some of the work with you, which I've got somebody here in Charlotte that we work with, that you get a lot more control over what you say. And the other thing is, if you're thinking about writing a book or publishing a book, a publisher probably would have made you go back to those first 5 years. And you don't get to say, I'm drawing a boundary. So good for you for owning that. So who is this? So we've talked about what the content is. Who do you think is really going to benefit from the book?
I think anyone that's had any kind of, not trauma, but just some kind of, any kind of abuse, whether it be emotional or, physical. It's, I want someone to have a fun read to get you back to the basics, back to basically living in the moment. Yeah. Get you back to that place. And I know it's not, sometimes it's not as easy as a book. And I will emphasize, sometimes you need therapy, you need medication, but I thought, wouldn't it be fun if this could be somebody's pill? Yeah. If I could get one person to not have to go on medication and just kind of, and somebody just to kind of you know, just get the help they need through a book and journaling and just kind of figuring things out for themselves. Because sometimes I like in some of the therapy sessions I was in, I felt like I was being kind of guided, like they were steering me.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, you know, and it didn't feel like it wasn't in alignment with what was in my head and how I wanted to feel in my heart. And
right.
And, you know, I just felt unbalanced when I was in therapy.
Okay.
And some of them, I had some good ones too, but
yeah,
I say plural. Plural.
Well, yeah, because, you know, my therapist, when I go see her, it's not an ongoing, it's just like a spot check-in if I need it. She is awesome. And everyone who's been to her is like, she just knows what she's doing. And she doesn't try to make you do anything, but she's looking for your healing. She's not looking to continually to bill you. She's looking to heal you and move you on. And that's awesome. So is this something that I read in a weekend? Is this something that I should sit with? Tell me more about that.
Well, I've had people tell me they couldn't put it down.
Okay.
And like I said, there's only maybe 50 pages. So it's it's condensed, it's packed, but it's got a cadence to it that kind of keeps you going and going. And that was my purpose. I wanted to make it so that if you like me, I have 2 types of ADHD actually. So I wanted it so that someone like me could read it, have fun.
Okay.
It's broken up into chapters so that, I mean, for severe, you could just read a chapter a night if you wanted to. But like I said, most of the people that have, you know, contacted me said, I couldn't put it down. I read it in like 2 hours.
I love that.
And they kept going back.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, I guarantee you they go back. So that's the thing about a lot of these books. That's to me, people say that's the indication of a good self-help book, because you read it once and you read it, right? And then you go back to your spots where, hey, this feels important, or this feels important, or let me unpack this part with someone in my accountability group or my coach or whatever it looks like. So that's awesome. All right. We're coming to almost 30 minutes. So our ADD brains are probably going to start to go in different directions. Tell me where we can find this book.
Okay. Amazon.
Yep.
You can buy the planner or the book.
Okay.
And then if you want to do an autographed copy of the book, you can go to pugsthatwow.com.
Okay.
And there you can also get the Wag More experience box. And then you can also buy some of the things separate. Like you can buy the candle separate. You can buy the tumbler separate. So there's a lot of options there. So you don't, but it's all at the Shopify, my Shopify.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for joining me. And y'all go buy the book. I can't wait to get it and see it all. And just like,
ooh. I'm shipping it to you today.
I love my stuff from you. I really do. And I cannot wait. I really think authors, if you're wanting to work with me, I think this is going to be something where I'm going to kind of tag on and offer that I think even seeing it, and we were talking about it earlier, this makes sense. It doesn't make sense for everybody, right? Like you're brand new, you don't have the investment, but if you really want to invest, I think investing in something like this, it's a great PR tactic, and it's gonna beef you up. So,
and we can work in your budget. We can make something wow within your budget.
I do know, I'm looking at them now. Some people that do like romance, oh my God, the romance crew. Ooh, how tantalizing could that be?
Oh, I love it. Really juicy stuff.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. And you know, you can always find me at definitapublicity.com or at definita.publicity on Instagram. I'm Arden, and I love getting to do this, and I love that this show is back. So thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.